Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. There's a lot of talk going on in the crypto industry. I mean, you have analysts talking about Ethereum making moves that can shed some light as to where this market potentially going. You have other YouTubers and analysts talking about, don't fall into this hype of the market having some sort of upside. Bitcoin's ranging in this 20,000, 21,000 range. Don't be fooled. This is a bull trap. And you have just all these different dialogues and conversations happening within the industry. And really no one knows what's going to happen. There's also been talks about, a minor capitulation bringing us further downside. You have stuff going on with Celsius and obviously these major blockchain companies that went down. Obviously, the start with Terra Luna and Do Kwon and them. Just a lot of stuff that's contributing to this fear and greed index and putting us or keeping us and remaining us in this extreme fear range. But there's still a lot of things going on in regards of regulation when it comes to government involvement and other things like that. So obviously crypto has a lot in store for us, this year and next year and moving forward. And we are in this extreme fear range, and there's a lot of market uncertainty, but there's still adoption happening at a tremendous rate, and the space is going to continue to grow as time moves on. In this video today, we're going to cover some updates, James K. Fallon updates on some Ripple versus SC stuff. We have some other dialogue from Jeremy Hogan kind of covering some of the transcripts that James K. Fallon was talking about. And then we have Tom Emmer, Representative Tom Emmer, having his little discussion or his thoughts on Gary Gensler and the SEC. And Digital Asset Investor puts up this great video when he talks about antitrust much when it comes to Gary Gensler and the SEC and how they've been kind of affecting, not only American investors, but affecting investors within the entire industry. And also, we're going to be covering some Celsius stuff from Watcher Guru. Celsius Network owes users 4.7 billion. And then we're going to end on this one. Vladimir Putin signs a bill banning digital assets as payments into law. So quickly coming over to CoinGecko, we're still under $1 trillion market cap. We're sitting at 981 billion, currently at 1.5%. And I think I need to do a better job of kind of discussing how relevant this market cap is. Just keep this in mind. When I've been in here since late 2017, I've seen this thing as low as 100 billion K, and I've seen it, go up massively and come all the way back down. And obviously, we were at 3 trillion at one point in our past bear market, our bull market, and now we're sitting under $1 trillion. So if you're that investor that looks at this and freaks out about this, I wouldn't worry about this. Just like we said, the rate of growth and the rate of adoption is happening. And if you zoom out, there's when it comes to Bitcoin and the crypto space in general, it's literally in an upward trajectory. So this is just merely interesting. This is just the time that we're in. So do not let that kind of scare you away or, cause you to, sell out your portfolio or whatever. Just a phase of the market. That's where we're at. Bitcoin's currently sitting at 20,931. Ethereum's sitting at 1,251. Scrolling down here to XRP, currently sitting at 33 cents. See what the biggest gainer is in a 24-hour period. We have Lido DAO, 35.4%. It says Terra Classic USD, 27.6%. And then Quant's been a big gainer in the 7-day periods, up 61.8%, and so on. Obviously, we were just talking about this Bitcoin Fear Greed Index. We're currently sitting at 15. We've seen it as low as 6, but we were at 7 last month on this recording here, but we've seen it as low as 6. So we're still in this extreme fear range. We've still got some work to do. James K. Fallon gives us an update here. Says the parties have filed letters outlining various requests and justifications for narrowly tailored redactions to the documents filed in connection with the motion by Amici to participate in the challenge to one of the SEC's expert. So if I click in here, I think you can pause this and kind of read through it, or you can come to James K. Fallon's Twitter account here and kind of read through this filing that he's talking about. Coming out here, XRP Crypto Wolf says, why is the SEC desperately trying to seal the SEC's experts' documents? Are they hiding something, or are they just using this as an excuse to delay the XRP lawsuit? Could be a little bit of both, to be honest. We definitely know that delays has been their tactic and strategy throughout this entire case. I mean, they know they were full of crap, and quite honestly, that's literally all they have at this point. So, but it could be a little bit of both going on there. James K. Fallon had put this up as well. Below is the transcript from the June 7th, 2022 hearing before Magistrate Judge Netburn, during which the parties argued the Hinman attorney-client privilege claims. So there's been some conversation happening that I wanted to cover. Jeremy Hogan had put up this screenshot here, and it says the purpose was to provide guidance to the market on the legal issues before the SEC. And basically, Director Hinman was giving the market the views of how the SEC would treat digital assets under securities laws. So there's a conversation right here. Miss Guru, you're an honor. Actually, you can kind of read through all this. But anyways, he had some great dialogue that he had put up here. He's talking about Attorney Filan got the transcript of the hearing from June 7th. And my old abused ears did not deceive me. The SEC attorney really did say the Hinman speech provided the market SEC guidance. The gambit has completely fallen apart for the SEC in the fair notice defense. Coming out here, he says, in other words, the SEC tried to have it both ways and instead got it no ways. Like when you're cheating on your girl and they both find out and then you have no girl. So, straight up and down, that's huge. I mean, that's what Jeremy Hogan was talking about when the hearing did happen, and he kind of, updated the community on kind of what was happening in regards of that phone call that when they listened into it. He was talking about, I could be wrong, but I think I heard this, and he just confirmed it with the transcript that that's what happened. Coming out here, it says, hello, Jeremy. This is from Jeff Beach. Hello, Jeremy. Perhaps when you would think Judge may have ruling on the fair notice. Jeremy Hogan says she'll rule on it along with summary judgment. So that's a December to March timeframe. So obviously we have that same timeline of, potentially this thing could be over. Settlement can happen at any point, but potentially this thing can be over from, the end of the year, December, all the way through March 2023. So it's kind of just going to be a waiting game to see what happens, especially with the SEC's tactic of delay. Who knows how long this thing's going to take. Something quite interesting is we have Representative Tom Emmer coming out tweeting again on Gary Gensler and the SEC. He says, history will remember Gary Gensler's regimen at the SEC as bad faith, quote, watchdog, whose regulatory inconsistency jeopardized public trust and weakened our financial markets. Wheezy X right here says, you're being too nice. It didn't jeopardize public trust. It completely destroyed it. I mean, absolutely. And then coming over here, Digital Asset Investor had put this up. It says, Congress, you need to ask the SEC in your oversight hearings why Gary Gensler is going after crypto lending platforms, but leaving ETH-related lending platforms alone. You have an SEC that is going after anything that competes with Ethereum while leaving it alone. Antitrust much? So let's take a listen to this. It's quite interesting.
Just think of it this way. You've got a bunch of platforms, crypto lending platforms.
A bunch of people are building lending platforms on Ethereum. And right now it's going to start off as totally crypto. So you're going to lend it, you're going to be able to lend like your Ether to the smart contract. The smart contract will in turn lend it out to other people, right? And it's weird, it's crypto, and people will say, oh, but it's only for Ethereum, and that's not for mainstream people. But then look, you add in the stable coins, and I think stable coins will be working, and you'll have some scaled out working stable coins in a couple of years.
That had been offering anywhere from 4% yields to 20% yields in an interest rate environment that was generally for short-term deposits less than 1%.
It's pretty rich and diversified series of things that you guys are doing there. Lending, staking, swap transactions, and then prop investing in a kind of de facto VC context. I think the thing that may have struck most people is the scale of your staking book. I believe you said over 1,000 validators, 1.5 billion US notional.
10,000. So 10,000 validators at 32 Ether per validator before the staking rewards. So, yeah.
I mean, this makes you one of the largest staking books in the world.
Yes.
You've got to sort of think, if you're an investor, if it's too good to be true, maybe it is. And how is it that would be possible?
The fascinating stuff is this permissionless ecosystem that's developing largely on Ethereum. We have lending, borrowing systems. We have money market systems. We have payment systems. We have price stable token systems.
And so a lot of risk may well be embedded in that. And we have securities laws. As you said, we have banking laws. But under the securities laws, if you're pooling a bunch of people's assets, we usually call that an investment company. And
the Ether token, we talked about ultrasound money. The Ether token is giving off yield, and it is deflationary, and So it's being burned in transactions. It's being frozen, staked in the protocol, staked in DeFi and DAOs and other systems.
Some of these lending platforms had 500,000 or 2 million or even more members of the public, investors pulling their assets together, and these platforms offering, as I say, 4, 7, 8, 10, or even 20% returns.
We're building staking as a service, essentially in collaboration with the Ethereum Foundation. And interestingly, it looks like it's going to be a big business. We're building infrastructure for it, for people, but staking as a service in a more generalized format is something that a lot of organizations, institutions are interested in. So we're having commercial discussions with them.
Sort of too good to be true type of returns. Just think of it this way.
Yep. I mean, for those of you that's been following the channel, following Digital Asset Investor, or, even been a part of the XRP community, I mean, you're well aware of all this stuff. And this is just the reality we live in, as of now. And until, representatives of Congress, step up and really, put Gary Gensler and SEC representatives in front of them and start hounding them about, their actions and, deploy an investigation of all this wrongdoing that's been happening. I mean, it's going to be continually happening. It's crazy. Coming over here is from Watcher Guru. It says, just saying, Celsius Network owes users $4.7 billion. According to the declaration CEO Alex Mazinski submitted to bankruptcy court. For all the people that utilize the Celsius network and Celsius, with their assets, whether it's custodying, to earn the yield or whatever the case is, I want to send my best regards out to you, send some prayers out your way. And it's just unfortunate that this is a real thing. This is crazy. Right here, this is from Cointelegraph. It says, Vladimir Putin signs bill banning digital assets as payments into law. Russia's parliament is also considering 2 other bills related to digital assets, regulating miners' activities and requirements for firms handling crypto transactions. So with everything that we've been seeing so far within the crypto space, and especially, on Twitter and stuff, all these crypto media platforms and, I guess I would say the more honest members within the crypto community, like you can see how things are, in a sense, it's almost like things are all lining up kind of oddly, and it's weird, and it's almost like it's all planned. It's all been a part of the plan, and all of it may not be 100% to a T, but it's like all the major stuff, major things that's happening. It just doesn't make any sense how things seems like it's lining up to roll out something massive, whether it's the conversation of we talk about the new financial system and all these other things. But it's just quite interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what lies ahead for us within this space as investors and as members within the XRP and crypto community in general. But yeah, that's the update I have right now. We're going to continue to bring you content. Make sure you come and subscribe to the XRP, or excuse me, the Crypto is Key Conversation YouTube channel, and make sure you follow us at Crypto is Key 1 on Twitter as well. We're excited to continue to grow this. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.